Okay, we're doing the second part of learning about angles. It's called angle measures, and this is going to be a bit trickier because we need to use what is called a protractor. Okay, and I am going to provide a protractor template. Maybe you might have one in the bottom drawer in your kitchen where all the junk is, or maybe you have an older sibling that's doing maths and they might have a protractor. But let's see how we go. So first we're going to recognize a right angle as 90 degrees. We've already looked at right angles, obtuse and acute. And a right angle is our go-to angle. It's a 90 degrees and we can see it everywhere. We're going to estimate, which means an educated guess, and measure sizes of angles in degrees using a protractor. And we're going to draw angles using a protractor. Now, if for some reason you desperately need a protractor and you find it too hard to do this lesson without a protractor, you can aim to do this lesson later on in the week when you get one. I'm happy with that, and I'll put a note up so your parents can see that. Anyway, let's do the learning. Let's measure the angles. So we're going to measure angles in degrees. So if we look at this first part, we don't need to zoom. A right angle measures 90 degrees. We use the symbol, that little zero thing there, to represent degrees. We write 90 degrees as 90 degrees. Okay, and if you remember our learning from yesterday, this 90 degree angle can be seen, and I might actually just get my writing up. It can be seen as, the angle name can be I'm pressing buttons on my pen. BC, or it can be named CBA. So just wanting to make sure that you're remembering your learning. So here it says we can use a protractor to measure the size of an angle. So this is a protractor here, and all these numbers are the degrees. So 0 around to 180, which is half a circle. And they also have on the inside 0 around to 180, and there's reasons for that. So have a look at this picture and have a look at all the detail. Baseline, center, ray BC, so B to C is called ray. Ray BC points to 0 degrees on the inner scale. So I might just get the highlighter out for that one because I feel like that one's an important piece of information, although my highlighter's not working. So you'll just have to remember that. All right, so we've got the outer scale, which I said was 0 to 180, and the inner scale, which is 0 to 180 that way. I do hope that you can see all this on your screen. So continuing on, to measure angle ABC using a protractor, we can follow these steps. These steps are going to be good go-to steps that you can keep coming back to. Step 1, place the baseline of the protractor on one of the rays. Now, see how we've got the baseline is up here. It's not the edge of the protractor itself. It's the line just off the edge. So we place the baseline of the protractor on one of the rays, BC we've chosen here, and the center of the baseline on the vertex B. So the center just on B. Okay. Identify the scale on which the ray on the baseline points to 0. Okay, identify the scale. So here we've got the inner scale. Remember, we have an outer and an inner. Well, the inner scale is on the ray BC. I can just hear everyone's head exploding. Look to where the other ray BA passes through on this scale. So there's B and this is A. So we're going to look at this blue line here, see where it passes through. It's going to be much clearer in your book. Your book is bigger than the screen. So just look at your book. It's probably better. Pause me and have a look at your book. Step 3, look at where the other ray BA passes through on this scale. Read the angle measure. The measure of ABC, angle ABC is 45 degrees. And you can see, because it's highlighted, it stops at 45 degrees. So this here has been placed on here. okay, into this section. The thing about this is you really need a protractor. Let's keep going and see what we can learn. So it says measure angle PQR. Remember the Q is in the middle because it's at the axis. The vertex. So angle PQR looks bigger than a right angle. So its angle measure should be greater than 90 degrees. Now the reason that that's important information is that when you put your protractor down on your angle, okay, so this angle here is being redone down here. So when you put your protractor down on the angle, you need to remember, look at the ray, Q to P. Where's the 0? It's on the outside scale this time. All right, the outer scale. And we know that that's correct because this angle, which we can't see anymore because I drew all over it, is an obtuse angle. Okay, and because that angle is obtuse, we know it has to be greater than 90 degrees, and that's what helps us know we're on the outer scale. See how the numbers are greater? So this angle PQR is actually, if I look really carefully, it's not 60, it's actually 120 degrees. So remember step 1, place the baseline of the protractor on ray QP and center of the baseline at vertex Q. So take all that mathematical language away, pop your protractor down, make sure that the baseline, not the edge, but the baseline is on the ray or on the Q to P line. Step 2, ray QP is pointing to 0 on the outer scale, so we read the outer scale. And another way to look at it is if you went from Q to nothing, well, you're wrong. Plus, the angle would be wrong, plus you don't have the line, the blue line there. Step 3, the measure of PQR is 120 degrees. So let's do, so the beauty of being able to do this is it's actually got the protractor in the book here, and you just have to look at it. If we go to the next page, the protractors are all there. Now, I don't believe it's going to be too hard, but I do know that it might be difficult. I need you to do as much as you can in your 40-minute time limit and to do it excellently if you possibly can. I mean, you can be excellent, but you might struggle, and some of you might do it really well. You're really moving into accuracy, guys. You're not doing little math. We're in preparation for grade 5. It's so, so important that you learn this stuff, because if you don't learn this stuff and it doesn't go into your head, grade 5 is really going to be that much harder. I've taught prime in grade 5, and this is easy compared to what's coming. So just make sure you do as much as you can and you do it really, really well. And the beauty of it is God has given you a fantastic brain, and that means you can get that information back. It will come back to you. Okay, you might have to do a bit of relearning, but it'll come back. So enjoy it and have fun. Do as much as you can. Maybe invest in a protractor, because I think we're going to need a protractor coming up. Okay, guys? Cheers.